Let's bring in Iowa House Minority Leader Jennifer Konfrst, who sat in there for the governor's speech. Let's do first reactions. What'd you think?
First reactions was there's some stuff that I can like in there and some
Okay.
stuff that I don't like. But the biggest thing is, if everyday Iowans are listening to this, how's their budget going to be better by the end of this legislative session? I didn't hear a lot of proposals that will actually fix something pretty quick.
All right,
And I think that's what Iowans want to know.
excuse me.
My apologies.
I presume cell phones, that might be something your caucus jumps on
Sure,
in support?
we can support cell phone restrictions in classrooms as long as teachers aren't policing one more thing, as long as school districts have the option to do it the way that works best for them. No one wants distracted students in classrooms. We can all agree with that. I think that, it's an interesting thing to focus on. Let's do it and move on because we've got a lot of problems we got to fix.
Your caucus, especially maybe on the Senate side, last session, and I think some of your members did as well, talked about the need for increased focus on why our state's cancer rates are as high as they are. Second highest in the country, I believe, 2 straight years. What did you make about her talk committing or asking for $1 million from the legislature?
I'm thrilled about that. Representative Austin Baith, as a physician, has been working hard on addressing this issue. I'm thrilled to see that we're going to seek more information. We need to move quickly. There are people who are being diagnosed right now. Let's make sure that while we're gathering information, we're also looking to see how we can prevent future diagnoses just like that.
Senator Weiner from the Iowa City area had talked about this last year, but wanted more money committed to this. Bottom line, is $1 million enough to start this?
Look, it's better than nothing, but this is a serious problem. We're second in the country. We need to make sure we're taking this seriously and quickly. Again, we have to get data quickly and start moving. We've ignored this problem for too long. The governor has ignored this problem for too long. It's time to act. So $1 million is a nice start, but we really need to get to work.
Well, let's go back to your earlier point about bottom line, will Iowans be better off financially? She talked about child care. Now, it seems to be, from what we understand, more focused on the providers. There could be, as long as businesses contribute to this fund, perhaps child care workers could get additional pay raises. There's no immediate relief for child care families, at least the way I understand it.
Right, I think that's the biggest problem, right? Accessibility isn't always the problem. Affordability is the problem. We've been talking about childcare for years. Families are still paying more than their mortgage every month on childcare. So we can continue to talk about accessibility, but what are we doing to make that bill a little less? And so, I think that more slots is fine, but it's not translating into lower rates. And so we have to address that issue because families are writing that check right now for February, and that check has only gotten bigger. So how are we as a legislature working to actually fix that problem? Big ideas are fine, but their bill's still the same. So something's not working. Let's do something different.
So what else did you want to hear in there when it comes especially to families affording their bills?
Yeah, look, I think that we need to be listening to what those middle class families are telling us, right? So tax cuts for corporations, that was an interesting, thing to talk about. But what about tax cuts for middle class families? Last time, 500,000 families got no tax cut during the last plan. So we're listening to those middle class families who are sitting down at the kitchen table right now to do their budget. How will we as a legislature make life better by July 1st when these new laws go into effect? These are all big ideas that are going to take a while. Families need help right now. And so I didn't hear a lot of things that are going to actually address the concerns that families are facing as they sit down at that kitchen table.
All right, I'm really going to put you on the spot, but there's one topic that I don't have a good handle on yet, and that's what's going to happen with energy.
Right.
Do you have a feel for that? We are we're a regulated industry, unlike some other states when it comes to energy. Could you glean enough from what she was talking about? Will this be additional energy providers? What does it mean?
Yeah, we want to welcome the governor to the cause of trying to figure out where affordable energy can be possible. We've been working on this for a while. Glad to hear that she recognizes that it's a concern. As she mentioned, a long runway for nuclear. We're fine to have that conversation. But again, we can do things right now to lower energy costs. Why aren't we doing them? And so when I hear about energy policy, again, I'm hearing big picture ideas. Those are great. But we got families right now who are writing that check to their energy company that's bigger than it was. And as she mentions, AI, other, high taxing energy things are happening more and more in our state. We got to act now. So a long runway is a great theory, but we got bills to pay, and that's our biggest concern.
All right, thank you. Appreciate the time.
Happy to be here as always.